T. If you don't know T, they're a 5-member boy group that debuted on Big Hit in 2019. This is called the name chapter FREEFALL. They gave us 10 songs. Some of the songs we've heard already, like the Jonas Brothers collab, the collab with Anita is on here, although she is not. It's just the T version. I'm going to get to that in a second. But the single is called Chasing the Feeling. Okay, this is a little bit of a mixed bag for me because I'm a fan of the 80s synth. We're hearing so much of it now in K-pop. It's really a trend. And I like that sound. I think that sound works. The pre-chorus is nice. When the pre-chorus kicked in, I was like, okay, yeah, I like this. So you kind of have this build with the first verse, and then the pre-chorus comes in. It reminded me a little bit of Ghosting and like that vibe on Minisode 1 Blue Hour. If you're a MOA, you know what I'm talking about. I felt like we were kind of in that mode, and I liked that mode. That mode, I really liked that EP. I'm a big fan of T's early stuff, which sounds ridiculous because they just debuted in 2019, but K-pop fans know what I'm talking about. If you came out in 2019, you've released like 50 albums by now. They're so prolific. These groups, they release so much. So when I say their early stuff, it could be 2 years ago. But anyways, I had that feeling in this song, chasing that feeling. I kind of got that vibe. And I was really excited because it felt like it was building to like something in the chorus. This was going to be a great chorus. But I feel like it never quite gets there. I feel like the chorus just doesn't get there. It's a little bit too one note. And it's a shame because there's nuggets of this song that work, but they needed a bigger chorus. It's not dynamic enough. And it feels kind of one note. It feels a little boring. I think if this was a B-side, it would have been okay. But it's weird to me that this was the single. I don't understand it, to be honest. I'm not sure what they were trying to do with this. All 5 members try their best to deliver. They're vocally pushing it and doing what they can. But this isn't a song that's made for showcasing singing talent. It's just kind of there. And yeah, I was just a little bit disappointed. I was expecting something more impactful for the lead single because there's been so much promo and so much lead up to this release. So Chasing the Feeling, not horrible, but it just doesn't quite get there. It didn't quite get there for me. Let's talk about the music video. They're chasing these lights, like this meteor type thing that fall at the beginning. And they're chasing it. They're kind of chasing it individually. They're chasing their color throughout this, like the city, throughout a cityscape. It's a little bit superhero-ish. It's a little bit in that realm. And then they all, like the lights all come together at the corner of this street in the city. They all kind of reunite. Then they have a nice dance break. So they're kind of like back together. And I think maybe, and I lost track of this storyline a while ago, so forgive me for this, but it seemed to me that like they're not in Neverland anymore. Do you remember that? And like that last song, the Neverland song on the last release, Leaving Neverland, was that what it was called? This felt like, yeah, they're not in Neverland anymore. They've come back into like the real world. But I'm not sure if it is the real world because there were different things happening, almost like Inception, like the road was in a different angle. So I'm not up the curve enough to completely understand what was happening there, but it felt like very, CGI special effects in the midst of this different world, that type of thing. Okay, let's get to the styling. Red hair always works on Yeonjun. He looks great. And I think that's like his signature now. And it works. It totally works. All of the members looked good. I loved the black outfits at the beginning. Black, leather, kind of torn jeans, that type of look. Very nice. I've got to be real with you though. I hated the styling when they all got back together. They're wearing like plaid flannel, like checkered shirts or whatever and shorts. That's fine. But why do their stylists always put them in knee-high dress socks with their shorts. It's so like, we got to stop doing that. We've seen it on them enough. It's very like infantile, schoolboy, or just nerdy. I don't know, but I was not a fan of that look. I think the rest of it would have been fine, but I was like, please take these socks off. I'm so sick of these socks. Okay, now I want to talk about the choreography because I think they're really great dancers. I always like watching their dance practice. The choreography doesn't stand out because the song isn't dynamic enough. This isn't a great song for choreography. They do a good job doing it. They're always in sync. They're good dancers. So whatever you hand them, they're going to kill. They're going to pull it off. But this isn't, it's not like an upbeat rhythmic song or an aggressive attack song or even like a super emotional like pop emo song. This is it's a mid-tempo 80s synth track. So like what choreography can you do to that? I'm not a huge fan. I don't think it showcases them in their best light. So yeah, not my favorite single from them. I'm a little confused as to why they didn't just do Back for More as the lead single because they debuted that at the VMAs. I thought that performance was great. They killed it. They were so good. Why not continue to market that song and then have that be the single? Like, it's weird to me because I think that would have been a million times better. I think that song is more effective. The choreography was great. Whether you have Anita on it or not, it works. She was a collab that they've done that I actually thought worked. I don't understand. I don't understand why Chasing the Feeling is the lead single. It just, okay. Okay. Let's get to my album picks because there's some really good stuff on this album. Out of 10 songs, I would say 6 of them are really good. The middle part, the middle chunk of this album, it's fantastic. It's really well done. It's really good. They just needed to kind of trim the fat. And unfortunately for me, a lot of the fat were the singles and the stuff that we've heard. But there was some good stuff. So, Back for More, my album picks are Back for More, Dreamer, Deep Down, Skipping Stones, and of course, Blue Spring. Let's talk about it. Back for More. I love this song. Anita isn't on the album version. She did well at the VMAs, but it's not like a huge loss not having her on it. This vibe works so well for them. I don't understand why they moved away from kind of a pop R&B sound because I think that they nail it and that's a great pocket for them. Again, when I say I like their older stuff, like a few years ago, I really liked when they leaned that way. My favorite part is the When I'm With You. Like Taehyun kills that. He attacks it. And in this song, the bridge has intensity. Like this is for me. You heard me talk about Ryan Tedder last week. This is a Ryan Tedder song that works. This song is good. There's that Michael Jackson flair at the end. It works. And this, I think, would have been a way better single. I don't know. I like this song. I think it's great. Dreamer, sticking with the R&B, we got a sexy R&B ballad from T by T. I am here for it. Please, please push this group in this direction. This is the type of stuff they should be doing. They're good at it. And this song specifically reminds me of Singularity from BTS V. If you know, you know. Singularity was that song. Singularity was the song. This song reminds me of it. Dreamer reminds me of it. I love the harmonies in the chorus. Show off those vocals. You have them. This song shows them off in a really positive light. I think it shows what they can do. I think it's like, yes, this group can really sing. It's cool. It's sexy. I'm so here for Dreamer. Next is Deep Down. Okay. I need a swig of tea. Whew. The lower notes in the first verse of this one, yes, they kill me. Really standout moments from Soobin, from Beomgyu. Gorgeous. There's this intensity of this song. nice build, and then you've got a really fun electronic chorus, kind of reminiscent of like maybe 2010-ish Jersey Club. I'm not mad at it. I love it. I think it's a great song. It works. You could have even made this the single. I can already picture the music video. I can picture it. The visuals for Deep Down. You could have done something really special and cool, and you could remix the shit out of this song. This would have been an amazing single. They should have done this as the single. If you're not going to do Back for More, Deep Down should have been the single. It's so good. It's so good. And again, I'm picturing what you could do with the music video for something like this. I also didn't love, I don't think the storyline of the music video for Chasing the Feeling, I don't think that storyline really worked. I think T by T are in a point where they're kind of, they've matured. They've matured. So give us that. You know, Back for More was sexy and cool. Give us that. I think, you know, fans mature with these groups. So the fans aren't going to be mad at you for giving us a hot, sexy music video. Instead, you're putting them in knee-high socks, making them pretend to be superheroes. I'm ready for a more mature side, and I would have gone in a different direction. But Deep Down is such a good song. Skipping Stones. So I talked about the different styles. They've done emo, pop, like kind of punk rock pop music, and it's worked really well for them. So if they want to go that pop punk route that they've done previously and that worked so well, Skipping Stones is a great song. It's grungy, it's kind of 90s alternative with a little bit of 2000s Britpop mixed in. I liked this song. I thought this one also worked really well. And then you have Blue Spring, which is so pretty and emotional. It's a fan song. The opening lines from Hunikai, beautiful, beautiful. So bare, that acoustic guitar, it really works. And it has that kind of epic feeling. This is going to kill live. This is the one the audience cries to with their arms in the air. Like, this is that song. And it's just a really, really pretty song. I loved it. I feel like this album had a lot going on. It's kind of a mixed bag. There's a lot of different genres. There's different sounds. There's different styles. Who are T by T at this point? Like, as a group, what would you say their sound is? Because while I think it's good to experiment and to show your fans a different side of you, it's still nice to kind of know what lane. And I think they've done so much. I'm not sure like who they are, who they want to be. And I don't know if that's this kind of desperate attempt to push them hard in the West. They've put a lot of money behind them, a lot of collabs, a lot of that. But I think like, let's come back to basics and let's look at what made them so successful those first couple years and why fans loved them so much. There was no like throwing something to the wall to see if it stuck. There was a stronger identity, and there, sound wise, there was a stronger identity. Then they switch and they go into more of this like pop punk sound. That worked. When they went into I Know I Love You, I loved that song, that music video, that whole feel for these five guys was so good. And then you had like Loser, Lover, and Good Boy Gone Bad. If you're going to stay with like the pop rock stuff, they could have done that and killed. They've kind of been genre hopping a lot. And I don't think they need to. I think they could have kind of stuck a little more to their guns without going back and forth and doing all these different sounds. It's just a little bit too much of a mixed bag right now. And as a fan, as someone who's reviewed their stuff for years and listened to their stuff for years, I'm not absolutely sure what the identity is and where they want to go. And I feel like these guys deserve that because they're putting in such hard work. They're behind the scenes for their VMA performance. I kind of just wanted to hug them because you could feel the pressure on them. And they killed it. And they're so good. But I think the content they're being given doesn't play to their strengths. This single is not the song that should have been the single from this album. If I would have started the album at Back for More and I would have ended it with Blue Spring. We didn't need the Jonas Brothers collab. There, I said it. That song is not good and we didn't need it. Sorry. They didn't need it. It didn't do anything for them. And when you do a lot of collabs, when you're kind of throwing all this stuff out there and it doesn't do well, that's a stain. That doesn't make you look good. You know, you can't keep having failures on the charts. It's not a good look. So I don't think the company is doing well by T by T. I think they deserve a hell of a lot more. And I hope that they right the ship. I hope that they right the ship here because they deserve it. And this one is so close. If you cut a couple songs at the beginning and end, this is a great album. I like the middle, but you have to kind of decide who are they and where are they going? Because like R&B, pop, emo, all of it, you can make a cohesive album with different elements. But that has to be on purpose and it has to sound that way. And this just sounded like they handpicked from a lot of different songwriters and producers, but none of it really goes together and it doesn't work as well. So I'm rooting for T by T, and I was really hoping to love this single. I don't hate it at all. It's not a bad song, but it definitely should have been a B-side or maybe should have been scrapped from the album. The single's not great, but oh my goodness, Blue Spring, Deep Down, there's some good songs on here. My bias. It's time to get to biases. If you don't know, my bias in T by T is Soobin. It's been Soobin from day one. It will be Soobin till the day I die. I love the leader. He's amazing. He's my bias for sure. My racker is Beomgyu, and I'm happy he's getting more lines. I think he deserves it. He has a nice tone, so give him a chance to shine. Another note, the album packaging is horrible. This album packaging is horrible. Like, is someone trying to sabotage them? Because that's almost what it feels like at this point. Probably one of the worst. It's funny because Meg and I talked about it on the first show when we were talking about collecting albums. And I believe she said her first one was like Map of the Soul from BTS. And we all remember that that was pretty horrible. The physical, not the songs were great, but the physical album was horrible because they were like using recycled paper and everything was faded and weird. And it wasn't. This one, I think might be worse. The album packaging for this T by T album, it comes in this like sealed cardboard box. So you keep trying to open it and then everything just kind of comes out. But like the album is glued to the inside of the box. So that's the cover, this like ugly cardboard box. And when you open it, it looks like unfinished. It looks like the album, like the, photo book is stuck to a cardboard box. And then you can't even close it all the way. So stuff's going to fall out. This design is horrible. This is horrible. Like the physical album, it is horrible. So I'm really, really mad at whoever's behind a lot of the decisions around T by T because I don't like the song that they chose for the single and I don't like the packaging. The B-sides save this project. There's some really nice B-sides. I selfishly would go in the direction of Deep Down and Dreamer and Back for More. I think this group can nail that sound. And for me in my years, that's what I'm attracted to and what I think is great. Before I move on, it's time to rank these songs. You've heard my reasons, you've heard why I like them. Here are my official rankings from least favorite to favorite of the 10 songs on T by T's The Name Chapter Freefall. Number 10, Do It Like That. Not my favorite. Number 9, English version of Chasing That Feeling. Number 8, Chasing That Feeling. My number 7 song, it was the opening song, Growing Pain. Then I get into the 6 songs that were my favorite. I would have just made this a 6-song EP. Number 6, Happily Ever After. Number 5 is Skipping Stones. Number 4, Back for More. Number 3, Dreamer. It's hard, but my number 2 song was Deep Down, which means my number 1, my favorite song off this album, Blue Spring. I felt like this was really them. It stuck to kind of songs by T that I love, that I think really work, and it's just a beautiful fan song. So I could picture seeing them in concert and singing along to this one. This is a good project. It's a shame that Chasing That Feeling was the single. I think that wasn't the best choice. But don't let that turn you off from listening, because the stuff in the middle is actually pretty good. So just skip to song 3. I think it's song 3. Yeah, just skip to the third song and listen. The rest of it, this is a good project, and TYT is a good group. So I hope moving forward that they stop forcing a million collabs on this group, and start maybe thinking about more their identity moving forward and the sounds that work. To give a group that can dance like this a song like that for the lead single, come on. Come on. Right now it's on track. I saw a tweet today, and I could be wrong, and I'm recording this on Wednesday, but right now that song is on track to sell, I think, around like 100,000. 108 was the last figure I saw, and debut maybe number 3 on the Billboard 200. So the fans are going to support and show out and show love for T by T, which is great. They deserve it. Looking forward to what's next and to kind of see the direction. Just chill out. Just take a breath, Big Hit. Just chill out and let this group breathe and let them be them. We don't need 50 million collabs. We don't need any more collabs with the Jonas Brothers. No shade to the Jonas Brothers. I think they're really good. But like, let's chill out on English songs and collabs and everything else you're trying to do, and just let this group be them, because they're talented and they're good enough on their own without all this other stuff. You don't need all the tricks. Just let them do their thing. They're good. So congratulations to T by T. I'm a fan and I'm rooting for you. Excited for what's next, and we'll see how this album does. I think this album will do well. I'm not sure if the single will. Should have pushed Back for More. Back for More is a good song.